Blanca Alvarado's civic activism started as a high school student in San Jose. Achieving equality for her community quickly became her life's mission. Ms. Alvarado joined forces with Cesar Chavez in the Emerging Community Service Organization, a Latino civil rights group. Ms. Alvarado became involved in several organizations, including the Mexican American Political Association, where she served as president of the local chapter. A turning point came in 1978. To help ensure representation for minority neighborhoods on the city council, Ms. Alvarado pushed for district elections rather than at-large voting. The measure passed. She spent 14 years on the city council fighting the social injustices that plagued her district. Her time included 2 terms as vice mayor, the first Latina to hold the position. Ms. Alvarado joined the Santa Clara County Board of Supervisors in 1995 and went on to become the board's first Latina chairperson. Ms. Alvarado recalls her time as a county supervisor as the most impactful and memorable of her political career for the work she was able to accomplish for children and families, the juvenile detention system, and public safety. She's received many awards for her contributions, but perhaps most notable is the middle school named in her honor. It's here generations to come will learn about her life of activism and how they too can engage.
The Community Service Organization was our first real community engagement, a process in East San Jose that brought forward so much leadership and so much training and so much recognition of the importance of being involved. You know, it was during that time as well that we emanated out of Most Holy Trinity Church, the parish activism, the Most Guadalupe Church activism, and the establishment of a very, very progressive, active community that for the first time, I think, in many, many years, understood that in order to achieve equality in one's community, one had to take action. It was during that time that I think we really learned what it means to be politically active. Before, it was community activity which centered around the needs of people. But through the Mexican American Political Association, we learned the ropes about how to maneuver in politics. We flexed our political muscles back then and felt really, really proud of the work that we were doing politically. But at the same time, my role as president of MAPA shed a spotlight on me and our community from the higher ups of City Hall. Having been such an activist all of my time, I was really prepared to seek a seat on the city council because after decades of involvement in the community, I had established a persona in the community, and I was elected in 1980 as the first Latina, the first person to be elected from District 5 in East San Jose. The 14 years that I spent on the city council were absolutely riveting. They were progressive, they were productive, they were rewarding because for the first time, East San Jose residents had the opportunity to share in the services and the representation on the city council. As I turned out in 1994, Zolakran was then elected to serve as our representative in Congress. And surprisingly enough, I thought I was going to go home and just spend the rest of my life doing things out of my home with my family, with my community. But instead, I was really encouraged to apply for the vacancy that was created by Zolakran's election to Congress. So for 14 years, I spent incredibly wonderful years as a supervisor, a position that to this day, I think is the most impactful position, politically speaking, of any local government. That is not to say the school boards and other agencies aren't important, but the work that we did on the Board of Supervisors is so far-reaching and so directed and focused on serving families that it was a great, great, great time for me to have had that wonderful opportunity to serve the people of District 2 on the Board of Supervisors. In my experience, we need more women leaders in politics because, generally speaking, I think we're more open-minded, we're more consensus builders. We don't take things personally. We're achievers. I think we're more prone to collaborations. I think we're also more geared towards leadership because we raise families, because we worked in communities, because we are more attuned to the needs of families in particular. And I think one of the things that has struck me so much, when I was on the city council, there were 7 women who were elected in 1980. I mean, it was just phenomenal to work with 7 women, and the mayor was a woman as well. So we were known as the feminist capital of the country. And it was a wonderful tribute, but it also exemplified how women get down to do the work of legislating, of making policy, not from a personal perspective, but from a community and a family-driven, oriented position. I don't know the extent to which your gender population is female, but to the men that are listening as well, combining forces with other women, combining forces with other men is absolutely what we have to do, because the challenges of today are daunting and require that we all roll up our sleeves and work together to make things better. I believe I have modeled my life, my civic activism, in the words of Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa said many years ago, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone on the waters and create ripples." This is a time when we have to expand our networks. It's really important for people to get out of their comfort zone and to look around and see, I really don't know much about this other person. I'd like to know more about this other person, because together, this other person and I can change the world. I would say, go out and create ripples. Don't be afraid to take a chance. Be adventurous in your life, because the world has so much to offer, and the world is in a place now where all of us have to do our very, very best to protect the planet and to protect our democracy.